What is going on, YouTube? Tonight in my video I want to show you my Aquaponics 2.0 system. I've learned a lot about aquaponics in the past month or so, and the last couple of videos I've made have been dedicated strictly to aquaponics. When I started this hobby, I didn't anticipate that it'd be something I would stick with, but I can definitely tell you that aquaponics is something I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. I'm the type of guy that I find something cool that I like and I kind of stick with it for a little bit, kind of get bored, move on to something else. But aquaponics isn't one of those. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from you guys out there, and I hope to keep learning. Alright, so Aquaponics 2.0. So, in the past couple of days, I've learned so much about aquaponics. I diverted a catastrophic aquaponics apocalypse. So the other day I was looking at my plants and I noticed that a couple of the dill leaves are starting to turn like white, like ghost white. And I had a number of different theories in mind of why it was happening. Protein deficiency, any type of nutrient deficiency, iron, I looked into. And a short while after that, I started to have issues with the draining of my bell siphons. They got caught in the everlasting drain, and sometimes they weren't draining at all. And I messed around with my bell siphons, and in the back of my mind, when I made this thing, I kind of realized when I was making my bell siphons that the way I was doing it was probably going to fail at some point. And sure enough, they failed. Epic fail. If you see my previous videos, you know that I didn't use a regular bell siphon like people had instructed. I kind of put like netting around the bottom of the bell siphon and just surround it with gravel, and I kind of knew while I was doing it what was going to happen. And it was a learning experience. I'm glad that I did it because now I know the proper way to make a bell siphon and why it needs to be made that way. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick. This grow bed here, it started to do really bad. It wasn't draining, and when it did drain, the cycle wouldn't complete and the water would just keep going, so there was no water in the bed, so it would stay dry practically the whole day. I finally got a day off work. I went out and I got the materials and I made the enclosure for my bell siphon. The way that I did this, I'm sure that other people have done it in the past as well, but it's pretty ingenious. I stuck the enclosure down as far as I could get it. I crammed it down, and I took the old shop vac and vacuumed out the gravel inside and just kept moving it down until it got to the point where it hit the bottom. So now my bell siphon is completely enclosed, and I realize now, and I kind of realized it then in the back of my mind, this is just 1,000 times easier. You can pull your bell siphon out, do what you need to do down there. You don't have to worry about your grow media caving in on you. It's completely enclosed. It's cleaner. You can see what's happening down there. Unlike before, when I had the netting and just surrounded by gravel, I had no idea what was going on down there. And what was going on down there was fish waste and other type of matter was clogging up my netting and causing the water flow to slow, which was stopping the bell siphon from siphoning. So now these things are draining perfectly. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. I'll show you the second bed here. There's a little bit of gravel starting to seep down. There was some at the bottom. As soon as a little bit more gets in there, I'm going to shop vac that out and then put the enclosure down even further just to stop everything from coming in there. Yeah, right now they're working perfectly. Just some shots of stuff coming up. I did lose a few plants. Some of the dill up here, was lost in the process. I didn't really plant those with the intention of having any big dill harvest or anything. Just kind of threw those in there. With the lettuce here, I did plant this with the intention of trying to get it to come up real good, grow real good, and yeah, to doing just that. So everything's going good still with that. And over in this grow bed here, my pepper plants are really doing good. Yeah, they're coming up good. Haven't had any issues whatsoever with those yet. Yeah, so they're doing good. The dill plants over here, this here is the best growing dill plant. That one's an original, and it's actually doing really good. Kind of blurry there. And I did lose a few around the side there, but it's worth it now that it's growing good. My onions over here have not come up yet, so I'm just keeping an eye on that. And I did lose a few pepper sprouts that were coming up over here in the process, but I'll take them. And this was the bulb that I planted. It's growing like crazy. This little guy down here, he's not doing as good looks wise, but seems to be growing pretty healthy. And I did add my spring tomato plants down here. They're under the light. They're coming up good so far, no issue. Kind of stuck these down here as a test to see how well they grow under the grow light. And I got some more in another spot, so I'm kind of experimenting between the two. And my other plants down here, not really any change in these. My African violet still is not sprouted from the trimmings. The other two that I had in there have since died away, but this little guy here is still going strong, so I don't know, maybe something's going on in there. Just have to keep my eye on that. And my bonsai, that dude's doing good. So, alright, Aquaponics 2.0. I learned something valuable this week, and like I said, it's going to stick with me the rest of my life. Alright, thanks.
Now here I go.